Good morning. Today is Thursday. I don't know why sometimes I be forgetting what day it is because there's so much that goes on in the week. So for everyone that is here right now, good morning to you, and I pray blessings for the rest of your day, and I pray that your week has been beautiful and bountiful all at the same time. And remember, you have the ability to control how your day goes based off of how you speak it. All right, so that's what we're going to be going over today. So let me give shouts out to those who are in the room right now. Good morning, Miss Sonia. Good morning, Miss Selena. How are you doing? Today is going to be a great day. Today is going to be a beautiful day. Today is going to be a bountiful day. Today is the beginning of your harvest. I'll say that again. Today is the beginning of your harvest because remember, harvest does not take place until the seed is planted. So whatever seed that you plant today is the first step into your harvest season. So if you believe in that within itself, say harvest, because harvest will come based off of when you plant the seed. So I'm gonna tell you a quick story that I heard today. Like when I work out and when I run or walk, it really puts me in the space to where I listen more. I listen to myself or I listen to other music, not music, where I listen to other speakers and things of that nature. And there was something that I learned about bamboo. Bamboo itself, they said that it takes 5 years for bamboo to grow. And they said, well, to grow will really crack the surface of the sand itself. So, taking 5 years for the bamboo to grow, you're going to have to water it. You're going to have to continue to water it, and to be consistent with watering it. And they said after the fifth year of the bamboo being planted inside the ground and consistently watering the bamboo itself, after that fifth year, they said it takes 6 weeks for the bamboo to grow 90 feet. That's crazy, right? In 5 years, it would then crack the surface of the ground level that it was on. But in 6 weeks, it will grow 90 feet. What does that mean for you? That means right now that it's not, you have to be patient in the moment and you have to be consistent at the things that you're doing, because even if it's taking you 5 years, it may take you 6 weeks to be successful, but it's still a complete 5 years of doing it. So continue to do it. Continue to be consistent. Continue to plant those seeds, because during the time of harvest, the seeds that you plant will be the ones that you were had perspectives of receiving. Because remember, the seeds that you plant will be the ones that come up, but you got to be careful what you plant too. All right, so this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about speak it. So as I was getting this ready, I just began to look at certain things, look at how some of the things that I do personally, and we all have to understand that there's life or death in the power of the tongue, but you have to acknowledge that first of all, in order for you to create what happens after you say it. But I want you to take that term and that terminology and begin to speak it to yourself for yourself, because you don't have the ability to heal someone else until you go through your own internal healing process. The same way with speaking it. Speaking it to yourself allows you to create that strong and structured harvest that would allow you to have the ability to feed other people. Just like a farmer plants a seed and a farmer plants seed. So at the end of the planting of the seed in the harvest season, the farmer has enough food to possibly feed the entire community that farm is in, but the farmer has to begin to plant that seed. So now let's speak to the seed that you're planting. inside of your own internal self. Let's speak to the seed that you're planting into your children. Let's speak to the seed that you're planting into your loved ones. Let's speak to the seed that you're planting inside of yourself. And that's the direction that one today. So, of course, we always go through the definition and then we go forward from there. Peace. Good morning, Miss Esther. All right. The definition of speak is to say something in order to convey information. The definition of speak is to say something in order to convey information. What are you saying to yourself? What are you striving to convey to yourself? Are you saying and speaking life into you in your situation? Are you saying and speaking life into your children? Because remember, what you say may be the seed that's planted. And after you say and the seed that's planted, what comes about from it is based off of what you have initially done and initially have said, all at the same time. So the second definition of speak is to serve as evidence for something. And that's where we are right now. Serve as evidence for something. Because they say if faith is a substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, that means that your words can serve as the evidence of your faith that has the ability to speak life to it. Again, this is all internal. We're speaking about us today. We're not speaking about anyone else. We're not pointing a finger to anyone else, because let's build internally before we have that outward appearance. Before we have that outward growth, we must grow internally, because we're what? Serve as evidence of something. So we're speaking life. If you are prosperous, speak that into yourself to serve as the evidence of what you have been doing for you. Now, this is something that I learned because I never thought about it, nor have I looked at it this way. The root word of speak is loque or locut. That is Latin for speak. And when you look at the word eloquent, that is meant to say what? Someone speaks eloquently. That's that Loqu in the word eloquent itself. That means that person speaks very well. That's crazy, right? And then again, the other root word is again Loquq with loquacious. A loquacious person is someone that speaks a lot. So I want you to begin to be loquacious with yourself. Constantly and consistently speak into yourself. Speak eloquent to yourself. Speak eloquent to your inner man. Be talkative to your inner person. Be talkative to your inner self. Because again, the root word of speak is eloque. What are you saying to yourself in your darkest hours? What are you saying to yourself when there's no one else around? How are you saying it to yourself? And when you begin to understand that when you speak internal, it does and it will have an outwardly appearance. Just like if you notice someone that always talk down to themselves, you're going to see that low level of confidence that they have. They may have lower shoulders, or they may have been crying, or whatever it is. You're going to have the ability to see that in their face. So what am I saying to you? Watch what you speak to you. Watch what seed that you plant inside of you. Because the seed that you plant, again, is either going to be an eloquent seed that you plant, and be loquacious in planting that seed. Because remember, it took 5 years for the bamboo to grow, but once it cracked that surface and it begins to what? Be evident, it took it 6 weeks to grow 90 feet. That's just like when you get into that moment and you're speaking life into yourself and you're speaking eloquent to yourself. It may take you 90 seconds to have that aha moment that can change the rest of your day. It may take you 90 minutes to have that moment that will change the rest of your month. It can take you 90 days to be in that space of speaking life to yourself that may change the trajectory of your business because you understood that it took work and it's going to take work and it's going to allow and take you to be consistent at doing the work within in order for it to have the evidence of having that outward approach. All right. First thing I want you to do is believe it. After you say it, after you have speak so eloquent about yourself, after you have being so loquacious within, I want you to believe it, because the things that you believe, I'm sure you heard it before, but the only way for it to be evident in your life is for you to continue to believe it. The things that you believe, you will have the ability to see it because it is evident. Again, if it's saying that faith, you have to have it. So therefore, you have to believe it. And the belief system that you have internally could possibly and will have an outward approach. Just like yesterday when we were talking about the elephant and the elephant rope, the elephant is held by a rope based off of its limited belief system. Tear down those limited beliefs that you have about you, and I guarantee you that you will have the ability to grow and to be loquacious, meaning talkative for you, by you, with you. It is okay to talk to yourself. Don't let people tell you, oh, you're talking to yourself, so you sound crazy. I don't care. I will talk to myself because I need to be my motivator. You need to be your very own mentor before you feel that you need to have an outward mentor that's going to speak life into you. Because if you cannot speak life to yourself, then how do you believe that someone else's words is going to project life inside of you to have that outward approach? Be your mentor. Some of y'all need to be your first mentor because you're out here trying to find it in someone else, but you don't even have it internally and you don't even have it within. So if you believe in the words that you say about yourself, just put believe inside the comment section, because obedience is better than sacrifice. Have you believed yourself? Are you obedient to the things that you believe within inside of yourself? You got people to say, oh, I believe that I'm going to do better next month. But you haven't changed the way you speak to yourself. You haven't changed the evidence of the eloquent way of how you speak to yourself. How can you not speak eloquent to yourself about yourself, but you expect someone else to speak eloquent to you when you don't even have the internal love for you that you know you should have? That is eloquent. Speaking eloquent to yourself. Speak the right words to yourself. And I guarantee you what comes out of it will be evident to those who see it. And then I want you to create it. You have to create it, because the things that you say will allow you to possess the ability to create it. If you say, I want to start a business, and you're speaking life into yourself and you're doing the research and you're getting prepared to get to that point to where you're writing the vision and making it plain, the belief is going to have to be inside of you in order for you to create it. That's when it gets real. Why? Because when you create something, it becomes tangible. It becomes the physical form. It begins to take the thought of mind and manifest it into something that you can actually feel, something that you have the evidence that it exists. Why? Because you spoke it inside of your mind, you spoke it inside of yourself, and then it manifested based off of what you create. And I want you to create it, and I want you to continue to create it. Because remember, someone that is loquacious is talkative and they will continue to speak. I need you to be loquacious internally. Continue to speak to yourself. And I guarantee you, you will continue to have the ability to create it over and over and over again. Then after you create it, you got to claim it. It's yours. You are going to have to claim it because if you were the person that spoke life into you, when it comes to pass, you got to claim it because the things that you claim are the things that you've learned from. I claim that I have learned these lessons, so therefore I won't do it again because you've claimed it. It's yours. You took a hold of it. And then once you claim it, you have to do what? You're going to have to own it. Do you own your words? Or are you still trying to figure it out? Now, there's nothing wrong with you still trying to figure it out. But after you figured it out, you're going to have to do what? Claim it. And after you claim it, you have to do what? Own it. You have to keep it within. Sometimes you're going to have to stop telling your big secrets to small-minded people because the big secret should have been kept when inside of you until the evidence of it became seen after you have created it. Speak big life to yourself. Speak big secret to yourself. Speak big talk to yourself because sometimes you're going to have to really give yourself that pep talk. You're going to have to talk big to you because everything that comes out of you, it started in you and you have to own it. And after you own it, man, it's yours. So this last thing, like, for those that know how to connect speakers and audio and stuff like that, even from a TV perspective, I want you to look at it this way. You have to receive it, you have to connect it, and you have to speak it. So now let's look at it from a audio perspective. And I want you to look at, like, back in the days, everybody used to have like this big speaker inside of the living room. Remember that big tall tower stereo that you used to have in the living room? Some of y'all probably have it. I don't know. But anyway, you have to have a receiver. As you can see right there, the RCA, you have to have a receiver. And from that receiver, you have to do what? You have to connect it to the speaker in order for it to what? To be evident that there is a connection there, and then the sound comes out. It is evidence that you have connected it properly. So I want you to receive it, that you have it. And I want you to connect it, that your gift will allow and will speak volume to anyone that you have a connection with. And I was listening to someone today and I never thought about it this way. We go into situations sometimes, or we're going into certain rooms and we're trying to communicate to everyone. How about you connect to them? And when you connect to them, then they will have and possess the ability to speak even when you're no longer in the room because they receive the gift. I need you to receive your gift, and I need you to connect your gift to you. And after you connect your gift to you, speak it. Speak life to you. Speak life to your situation. Speak life into your children. Speak life into everything that you do, and be eloquent at speaking to you. You can't want me to love you if you don't love yourself. You can't want me to speak proper to you if you're not speaking properly to yourself. So speak eloquent to you, and I guarantee you the things that you receive, you will raise your standard of how people speak to you because you speak to yourself with high regard. You speak to yourself so eloquent that you will no longer take nor accept the things people say to you. Why? Because you don't even speak it to yourself that way. So why would you allow someone to speak that in